Struggling single mother Clara Monroe spends her last $8 to save a biker suffering a heart attack. What happens next will uncover a message tattooed beneath the biker's skin. Rain streaked across the windows of a dim apartment, the kind of place where silence carried the weight of struggle. Inside, Clara Monroe sat at a rickety kitchen table, counting coins under the pale light of a flickering bulb. Every coin mattered. Each one meant bread, milk, or the bus fare that would take her to her second job. Across from her, her 6-year-old son Leo dozed off with his homework half finished, a crayon still between his fingers. Clara brushed his hair gently, exhaustion swimming behind her eyes. Once, she'd dreamed of becoming a nurse, but life had offered bills instead of breaks. Tonight, her wallet held exactly $8. Just enough for Leo's breakfast and her bus fare to work the next morning. When the power suddenly blinked off, Clara sighed. "Another blackout," she muttered. She grabbed her jacket and car keys, hoping to buy candles before the store closed. But as her old sedan sputtered near the gas station, it stalled and died. The fuel gauge was empty. But before we dive into what happens next, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from today? Drop your country in the comment below and please like the video. Thank you. Now let's continue. She cursed softly and rolled to a stop by the pumps. Inside the station, the clerk gave her a bored glance. "Cash only, pumps glitching again," he said. She handed over her last $8 and began fueling up, unaware that fate had just put her exactly where she needed to be. Then, from the far side of the lot, a sound broke through the drizzle. A choked gasp, a heavy thud. Clara turned. A man in dark leather slumped beside a roaring motorcycle, his hand clutching his chest. His jacket bore the insignia of a biker club, the kind most people crossed the street to avoid. The clerk leaned out the door. "Don't go near him, lady. Those guys are trouble." Clara hesitated. She thought of Leo asleep at home. She thought of fear. Then she thought of her late father who once said, "If you see someone in pain and walk away, you'll carry that weight forever." Clara's heart decided for her. She ran toward the stranger. Rain poured harder as Clara knelt beside the man. His face was pale, eyes glazed with panic. "Sir, can you hear me?" she asked. He nodded weakly. "My chest. Can't breathe," he gasped. Clara's hands trembled as she looked around for help. No one else moved. Even the clerk pretended not to see. "He needs aspirin, fast," she shouted. "There's a drugstore across the street," the clerk called, but made no effort to help. Clara sprinted through puddles, barging into the store. "Aspirin and bottled water," she said, breathless. "That'll be $7.80, the cashier replied. She pulled out her last bills, the $8 meant for her son. She hesitated for one heartbeat, then handed it over. When she returned, soaked to the bone, she helped the man chew the tablets and sip water. He grunted, breathing easier. "Why'd you help me?" he rasped. "Because you needed it," Clara said simply. Minutes later, an ambulance arrived. Paramedics rushed to his side. One of them turned to Clara. "You saved him," he said. As the lights faded down the road, Clara stood alone in the rain, shivering but strangely at peace. She had nothing left, not even the $8, but her soul felt lighter than it had in years. The next morning, Clara's neighbor, Mrs. Carter, knocked on her door with arms folded. "You helped one of them, didn't you? Those biker people. Everyone's talking about it." Clara frowned. "He was having a heart attack. I just did what anyone would." Mrs. Carter scoffed. "Anyone with sense would have walked away. Those people are dangerous." Clara said nothing. That afternoon at work, whispers followed her. The cashier who'd filmed part of the event had posted it online. Strangers called her reckless, stupid, and even crazy. But a few comments said something else. She saved him. There's still good people left. When Clara returned home that night, she found a note taped to her door. It read, "Thank you for saving my brother. We'll never forget." No name, no signature, just a single symbol, an angel's wing drawn in ink. Clara tucked it into her purse, unaware that the next day, her quiet life would never be the same. At dawn, Clara was making breakfast when she heard it, a distant rumble, growing louder until the walls trembled. She looked outside and froze. Dozens of motorcycles lined her street, chrome gleaming in the sun. Men and women in leather jackets stood beside them, tattoos glinting, faces solemn. One of them stepped forward, the man she'd helped. He looked healthier now, a bandage peeking from under his shirt. "Name's Ryder Kane," he said, voice gravelly but warm. "You gave me my life back, ma'am. Came to say thank you." Clara stammered. "You didn't have to." Ryder held up a hand. "We don't forget kindness. You used your last dollar for a stranger. That means something." His crew began unloading boxes, groceries, blankets, even a repaired car battery. Her driveway filled with gifts she didn't ask for. Tears welled in her eyes. Mrs. Carter peeked through her curtains, jaw dropping. Ryder smiled faintly. "You thought we'd bring trouble. We brought thanks." That day, Clara learned that help sometimes comes wrapped in leather and loud engines. Weeks passed. Ryder often checked in, fixing her car, helping with small repairs. He told her about his club, Iron Saints, a group once known for rough edges but now working to help veterans and addicts turn their lives around. "You reminded us what we stand for," Ryder said one afternoon as they painted her porch. Clara laughed. "I didn't do anything special." He looked at her. "You chose compassion when fear told you to walk away. That's rare." Their friendship deepened. Leo adored Ryder, calling him Uncle Ree. The neighbors who once whispered started dropping off donations. Food, clothes, toys. A simple act had rippled outward, mending not just lives but hearts. One evening, Clara looked around at her once empty home, now filled with laughter, warmth, and second chances. "Maybe kindness really does come back," she murmured. Months later, Clara stood in a community hall surrounded by volunteers, some bikers, some locals, packing care boxes for struggling families. Above the entrance, a banner read, "The Willow Foundation," named after Clara's mother, who had always said, "Be the reason someone believes in good." Ryder helped her organize donations. "You built something real," he said. "We built it," she corrected. Word spread fast. What started as one woman's small act of kindness grew into a movement. They helped the elderly with repairs, gave food to the hungry, and found shelter for those without homes. The town that once judged Clara now celebrated her as its heart. Exactly 1 year after the gas station night, the Willow Foundation hosted its anniversary gala. The room shimmered with lights and laughter. Clara stood on stage, her son proudly watching from the front row. "When I helped a stranger that night," she began, "I wasn't brave. I was just human. People told me I was foolish, that helping someone like him would bring trouble. But what I learned is this: kindness is never a mistake. Even when it costs you everything, it's still worth it." Applause erupted. Ryder, standing in the back, smiled proudly, his eyes glistening. After the speech, a young woman approached her. "Hi, I'm Sophie Lane. You helped my mom 6 months ago. She had cancer and couldn't afford treatment. She's in remission now. The doctors call it a miracle. I call it you." Clara hugged her, both crying. Nearby, Mrs. Carter walked over, holding a tray of desserts. "Clara, I was wrong about you," she admitted. "You showed me it's never too late to unlearn fear." Clara squeezed her hand. "We all grow one act at a time." Later that night, Clara walked home under soft streetlights, still wearing her foundation badge. Her car now worked fine, but she preferred to walk. It gave her time to think. At a corner gas station, she noticed a young man sitting on the curb, head in his hands. His car hood was open, smoke curling out. "You okay?" Clara asked. He looked up, startled. "My car's dead, and I've got to pick up my son in 20 minutes. Don't have cash for a tow." Clara smiled gently. "Here." She handed him a $50 bill. "I can't take that," he said, shaking his head. "Yes, you can," she replied. "Fix your car. Get your boy. Then she pulled out a small card from her bag. When you're on your feet again, help someone else. That's how this works. He took the card, eyes wet. Thank you. I won't forget this. I know, Clara said softly. I didn't either. As Clara walked home, the night breeze carried laughter and the distant echo of motorcycle engines. She thought about how her story began, with fear, $8, and a choice. She could have listened to doubt. She could have driven away. But she didn't. She saw a person in need and acted. That single decision had set off a chain reaction that changed lives across an entire town. Weeks later, the Willow Foundation released a short video of her story. In the final frame, Clara's voice narrated, "Kindness doesn't wait for the perfect moment. It starts with what you have, your time, your courage, your heart. Who can you help today? Who have you overlooked because of fear or judgment? The world changes one decision at a time. Go be someone's reason to believe." The video spread fast. Comments flooded in, stories of people helping strangers, paying it forward, rebuilding communities. And somewhere under a quiet sky, Clara looked up, smiling, knowing that kindness, real kindness, never ends. If this story touched your heart, don't just scroll away. Do something about it. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this video with someone who believes in kindness, second chances, and the power of helping others. Because every time you share a story like this, you're spreading hope. You're reminding the world that good people still exist. People who care, who help, who believe that one small act can change everything. So, if you believe that kindness can rewrite someone's life, join our family by subscribing. Let's keep the message alive. Let's keep kindness moving. 'Cause somewhere out there, someone needs your light.